cultivators, welcome to Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses, the only lesbian-hosted podcast about Mage Guru. I'm Roy, and if I were about to be killed by a headless zombie, I would simply yell for help.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. And I'm Fallon, aka Old Corpse Yells at Clouds. I'm sorry, but the fist-waving
no,
thing
you're right.
he did, I could not see it as anything other than angry old man chasing youngins off his lawn.
Grandpa Simpson with his head cut off.
Yes! Headless Abe Simpson.
Oh, God. So, another week, another QQ episode.
Wow. It's
Fucking Weighing's
It's a round
Declassified
one.
School Survival Guide. It is a very round one.
They're just kind of having a round one out there.
This episode...
So this episode was fun. Lan Wangji and cool Uncle Lan Xichen notice something's up in the cloud recesses.
Yeah.
Everyone is a little more rotund
Everybody...
than they might have been before.
Everybody is perfectly spherical.
Everybody is busting out of their clothes.
Everybody ate a cheese.
Literally everyone ate a cheese.
And Lan Xichen goes back to his office and says, I know they all ate a cheese, and I know it's Wei Ying's fault.
Figure this shit out, Lan Wangji. And Lan Wangji says, bet.
As he does.
And he proceeds to catch Wei Ying in several situations that would be compromising were he technically breaking the rules. But technically, he isn't breaking the rules because he's Genius.
He's Genios.
He's spelled Genius, Geniues.
Yes.
Genius. And so, you know, you're not supposed to eat more than 3 bowls of rice in the cloud recesses.
Right. So what he did is he got himself a really, really big, funny comedy huge bowl.
And he's just eating off of that bowl. And Lan Wangji comes up, he's like, hey, you're not supposed to eat more than 3 bowls of rice in the cloud recesses. And Wei Ying turns to him and he goes, Lan Xichen, this is my first bowl.
With his fucking pleading emoji eyes face. The fucking audacity.
The absolute gall of this young man.
He's so stupid. He's doing the most.
So there's that.
Then Lan Wangji busts him killing a bird for food.
And he says...
It's like a comedy. It looks like a rubber chicken.
And he says, no kill animal in cloud recesses.
You don't
and
do
Wei Ying
that.
says, haha. But see here.
Looky here.
They're in front of the memorial stone marking the cloud recesses entrance. And Wei Ying, you know what? He's right behind it.
Yeah.
He's right. He's
Wouldn't you know
right behind that line. So technically, he didn't kill that pheasant on lawn property.
He didn't. He did it right over the border. He did the fucking, not to become the Simpsons again, but he did very much do the funny Australia, America, hopping back and forth over the embassy line.
Yeah. So I mean, the law has no bearing on him here.
The law doesn't apply.
The law doesn't apply.
He's in no man's land. He's in no Lan's land.
He's in no Lan's land. That's it.
No Lan's allowed.
And so Lan Wangji, he can't do nothing. And then the third and final installment.
This one made me so fucking mad. Wei Ying does a big, funny Shansha TV show leap onto a...
Yeah, he's going for the grape ape escape up out of the cloud recesses.
He says boing.
He said boing, and he gets up onto the wall, and Lan Xichen said, Wei Ying, you know you're not allowed to leave by climbing over the wall.
And he says, I got you there, because technically, when you think about it, Eisenstein, I didn't hop over the wall, I hopped over the door, so checkmate. And
Lan Wangji has nothing to say to that. He has nothing to say to that, so he just lets Wei Ying go on his way.
Yeah, and then some round, very round, perfectly orb-shaped Lan disciples walk by, and they're talking about...
The ones who had rolled down the hill after attempting to bow to Lan Xichen in greetings.
Just... They're like, wow, How to Survive in the Cloud Recesses is a really good book. Wei Wuxian sure is a big brain genius. And
Lan Xiren's like, excuse me?
He gets word, and I guess he obtains a copy of it, and it's just word for word goofy little kindergarten drawings of all of the things that Wei Ying did.
It's incredibly a rage maker for this man, and he screams Wei Ying's name very angrily and passionately, shaking the halls of the cloud recesses.
You see it from outer space.
Because he has found a way
He found
to
a way.
get good.
He found many ways to get good.
He found several ways to get good, and he shared that wealth of knowledge with his fellow disciples.
Wi-Fi's trick.
It's the Wi-Fi's trick?
He did it. He really did do that. He really
It's
did
his freaking
do
way.
that.
It's his design.
I gotta tell you, though, it is comrade shit. When you figure things out, and you know you can't get away, or you know you're gonna be able to get away with them,
Tell your friends.
tell your friends.
Tell your friends so
Share
they
the
can get away
knowledge. Don't
with
keep
it
that
too.
shit to
Shit.
yourself, yeah.
I think he did the cloud recesses a great service.
Yeah.
Because some of those rules, I'm gonna tell you, they're pretty whack.
Listen, you don't tell Roy, famous steamed white rice liker, to only eat 3 bowls of them.
Well, you probably couldn't finish 3 bowls of rice anyway.
That's between me and God.
Your little tummy. It's not between you and God now. It's between you and everyone
It's between
that's listening to this.
It's between me and the toilet.
Oh.
Me and the toilet.
That liminal space.
That liminal space. The toilet is a liminal space when you think about it. It's where you go to do all of your thinking.
Yeah, the toilet is a liminal space in that it contains everything and nothing, and it is connected to both everything and nothing.
I'm putting my hands gently on either side of my face, astounded by the knowledge that I'm learning.
I'm sorry that I had to do this to you, explode your brain on this Monday night, but it's just my way.
For many people around the country, it's back to school day, so it's only fitting that Roy get to learn too, so...
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway.
Oh, God, one of our D&D friends, the smallest one in the group.
Smallest.
Our group child, finally made it. I think they got accepted to NYU, and I'm like, bro, I cannot believe that they're still gonna open the damn campuses.
It's stupid. It's foolish.
They got all moved into their dorm.
Hey.
I'm like, man, that just doesn't seem smart to me. I know you're excited to go to college, but at what cost?
Don't blame it on them. Blame it on old Andy Quandy.
I'm definitely gonna blame it on Andy Quandy. That motherfucker. Nasty ass bitch.
This is an anti-Andrew Cuomo podcast.
This is an anti-any fucking milquetoast ass supposed liberal progressive lawman in a position of power. That goes for any politics man. Fuck off. You're all pansies. We don't need you.
Hey,
continuing on.
Speaking of politics mans, do you want to get to this chapter?
The big politics man.
The big politics man. We do learn some big politics man insider info in this chapter. Some lore. This week we read the very small, teeny tiny baby chapter of chapter 46, Guile Part I.
Yeah, it's like an aperitif, you know?
Yeah, it's just a little tasties. And I'm gonna do the summary, and I'm gonna try to make this as quick as I can. I have a very big summary written down, but a lot of this I can skip through, because honestly, the way I have this summary written, it's like almost as long as the chapter itself, which is goofy, so I'm not gonna do that. So, chapter 46, Guile Part I. There's big headless hunky dude, hunky zombie man, looming over Wei Wuxian. There he is. The juniors see and they're scared. Wei Wuxian does brain math, and he realizes that he and Lan Wangji had been too busy doing the Yi City arc to play rest and calm the zombie parts down. And that's how all of their bagged friends' pieces came together. Zombie Man's mad that he doesn't have a head. Wei Wuxian tells the juniors to scatter, because otherwise Zombie Man is going to come after him and pull their heads off and see if it works for him.
Yeah.
Wei Wuxian decides, alright, this is going to get goofy. And he shouts as loud as he can for Han Guangjun to come save him, and sure enough, here comes Han Guangjun alongside Lan Xichen. He's here too. They have their Guqin and their flute, and they're ready to go, and they get ready to do a cool duet, but Xichen kind of blue screens. Zombie steals Bichen from Lan Wangji, and he does some big weird slices. Xichen gets his head back in the game, High School Musical, and starts playing. Zombie gets kind of real curious when he hears this, and he just falls apart. Xichen says, let me take a look at this guy. Wei Wuxian says, then hashtag confirmed, because if you know who it is, then I know who it is. And by way of more brain math, they figure out that Zombie Man, we finally have his identity. Zombie Man is old Chifengzun.
There he is.
He's here. Niming Jue, it's him. He's here. That's who it is. So Wei Wuxian kind of, like, briefs Lan Xichen on everything they've encountered and trying to figure out who might have chopped old boy up and why. And it's got to be somebody who's familiar with the long sword technique and who knows all the deep Neosect lore, but didn't have the best relationship between, or with NMJ. Lan Xichen says, no way. Wei Wuxian is like, are you sure, though? Like, are you sure? And Lan Xichen says, I simply choose not to hear it. Because there's only one person who fits all that, but nobody ever says who exactly it is, so we don't get a name. But Wei Wuxian kind of thinks, I don't know, man, I feel where he's coming from, but mystery suspect is the person who would have benefited the most, and it sure is convenient that NMJ died from a public sheet deviation, and that's the chapter.
That's it.
That's it. The whole thing.
The whole damn thing. It's a very brief little nibble.
Yeah, it's like
6 and some change pages.
Yeah, 6 and some change, 8.5 by 11 pieces of computer paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, scary zombie man stared down a Wei Ying.
Scary zombie man stared down a Wei Ying, and I'll tell you why. It's because his radar is tuned into bottoms only.
It really is.
It's tuned really in bottoms only. That's all it will do for him.
He literally, like, he doesn't have a head, so he can't see, he can't hear.
So no head?
Fuck off.
Smash.
He can't, but he can detect yang energy, which is just boy energy.
It's boy energy. I'm telling you, dude. This is a gay corpse.
This zombie is gay, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he's also very mad that he doesn't have a head.
He's very angry. The children are scared.
Yeah.
He's trying to... He's feeling around.
Yeah, he feels like a tree trunk, and he's like trying to figure out what it is, and it just made me think pineapple hurt mouth.
Pineapple hurt mouth, and Wei Wuxian takes a peek around, and he like notices all of the. There's just like a bunch of torn up Chankun pouches on the ground, and I love the mental image of these corpse parts getting just so fucking mad that they vibrate the damn bags apart and then just magnetize together.
Oh yeah,
out of pure spite.
Now, the one thing that disappoints me is that we do get a line that says that Zombie Man has a burial robe over him, so he isn't as nude as I was led to believe by everything else in the world.
I wish that he had just been one large nude dead man.
Show me his dick!
The only time I've ever wished to see a nude dead corpse.
A nude dead...
A dead corpse, opposed to an alive one.
A dead dick.
A necrotized penis.
Where did he get this burial robe from? It just materialized.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he must have maybe it was because it says that it was like on the torso of the Chong clan corpse in the grave.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
But so maybe they just for his own sake they just kept the burial robe on the torso, wrapped it up a little bit.
Just in case anything goes wrong. We're not gonna we have kids here. Why don't we
wrap it in plastic, save it for later.
Yeah. This is for your own dignity. We're just gonna,
And Wei Wuxian's like, oh shit, yeah, he probably pieced himself together. We forgot about the baby! For a whole 2 weeks, they fucking forgot to feed, take care of, and calm this
flour sack.
This home economics egg that they've decided to adopt. And reading this, I'm really not sure how much I would trust these two with an actual child. It's like, hey, did you feed the baby today? No, I thought it was your turn.
Oh shit, I forgot about the baby because I was warged into a little girl ghost. I hate when that happens.
Oh god, I've just been so busy with everything, I just completely forgot to feed the child.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You think they're still alive? Oh Jesus.
Oof.
But anyway, so he's like, all right, well, that's definitely it. But, I mean, I guess since everything's there, they got really attracted to each other, and they magnetized.
The description of this is so fucking funny to me, just because of the image it makes me
Yes!
come up with. Perhaps they had, speaking of the body parts, perhaps they had felt one another's resentful energy, and their desire to be put back together grew. Now that Lan Wangji was out patrolling, they hurriedly rolled off to the side, barged out of the chankun pouches that had bound them, and pieced into a corpse by themselves.
Literally just got so mad they vibrated out of the bags.
Why am I a parts?
Why am I a piecemeal? God, he's just, I mean, I don't blame him, dude, but it's like...
I really don't.
It's like one day after several days of not being sung to,
Yeah.
the parts just went, hey, remember when I wasn't just an arm?
Remember when I was, like, together, and I had, like, ligaments?
Remember when there was, like, a body to me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was going on.
Let's do a little Throwback Thursday and get that going again. How about it, y'all?
Hashtag TBT when I had a body.
Hashtag TBT when I was in One Piece.
And then we get, so the way this document cut off at the end of this page, the very last line that we get, just on our copies of this, the last line we get is, unfortunately, however, the corpse still lacked a part. One most important part.
You know.
It was this dingus.
That head, baby! Yes! It's true!
It's true.
The head, both literal and figurative.
The dingy.
No, you know what? Maybe he's missing his weenie too, because you know who was into that weird shit.
I don't want to think about that. That's a bit much for Roy. I mean, you're right, but I don't like it.
He keeps it as a trophy.
Hate that.
Yeah, I hate it, but like...
It's like lacquered.
Would I... Yes, I was gonna say he like resonated it.
Oh, God. It's plastinated.
I'm gonna say it's horrible, but like, considering who we're talking about and how like petty he's known to be, like, would it not be a thing?
Listen, you're right. I hate it. You are right.
You do hate to think about it, but also, on the other hand... I love being right about things, so I'm gonna say them.
That's the toughest call ever, isn't it? When you're right about something and you fucking hate it.
When you're right about something and you shouldn't say it, but you have to anyway.
Yeah, for the sake of the people.
Yeah, for the society. For the community, you know.
For the fact that we live in a society. That's fucking awful. Just a resonated, preserved dong on a shelf.
Either that or, like, kept in a jar like they did with Rasputin's gigantic horse dick.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I think about, for some reason, I just kind of think about this a little bit.
It's hard not to.
I think it's enticing to take something like that as a trophy.
Yeah, I mean...
Not personally, okay? Not a threat, just an observation. I'm not gonna be snatching any dicks anytime soon.
Just getting into hashtag the mind of a killer.
Yeah, I'm Will Gramming it right now.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is my design.
This is me, Will Graham. Well, listen, if I say I'm Will Gramming it, that means that I'm also eventually going to do it. Who's the handsome serial killer puppet master who cursed my dick, though? Literally cursed my dick! Jokes.
Wow, jokes.
Who is it? Is it God? I think it's God.
Oh, God. So, fucking Christ. So, Zombie Man is mad still. He punches the tree.
Yeah, he's like trying to figure out where the fuck his head is. And he like feels around. He's like, what? So no head? Slams into tree. I'm sorry. I'm going to make that joke about 5 different times this episode. Cause like, there's no more fitting joke.
I can't wait till we get to the questions.
Oh, brother. I'm glad we're going to have lots of time to answer questions this time around because this chapter's so short. But anyway, Wei Wuxian sees this. He's like, man, this guy needs to put a lid on it a little bit. Like, is he good?
He's like, mad? Calm down, rude.
And Lan Xichen, like, but what kind of monster is this? And Wei Wuxian plays fucking respectability politics with him. He's like, I'm sorry. No. What's a monster again? Huh? No, it's not this one. It's actually technically a ghoul. Okay, so you're incorrect. But it's like, dude, can you cut the kid some slack? God, Jesus, it's a goddamn headless corpse. He's probably scared out of his wits. I was gonna say scared out of his dick. And I don't want to continue with that.
We spent too much time talking about dick. We're gonna be spending a lot of time talking about dicks in this episode.
This is the most amount of time I've spent talking about male penis in my entire lesbian experience.
Oh god. We are going to be spending a lot of time talking about male penis in this chapter.
Male penis, not to be confused with female penis.
Anyway, so Wei Wuxian says this is obviously a corpse classed as him big.
Yeah, classed as large.
And Sishui's like, can you not yell? It's like gonna find you. And Wei Wuxian is like,
with what fucking ears? Wei Wuxian like gestures incredulously
ears
to
where?
the completely missing head.
Which is fucking hilarious. And then Jingyi's like, fucking of course Jingyi gets to try. He's like,
no, Wei Wuxian's like, so I mean if you don't believe me, you can just holler. See what happens.
And Jingyi says, alright, and yells. And I'm just picturing him just screaming, just, ah!
Yeah, Jingyi like, oh, okay. It's like veins popping in his forehead. He indeed shouted a couple of times.
Exactly.
And then the fucking corpse spins around and he starts coming towards him and he's like, but why would you tell us to yell at him? It's coming towards us.
And Wei Wuxian was like, it's because he's detecting your boy energy.
It's
and also you're by a fire. So
there's too much testosterone here.
Unfortunately, fire indeed hot, so y'all gotta spread. Sishui puts the fire out, and then they all just scatter. They go in every direction.
And so the headless man loses his direction.
Yeah, he's like, where? And
what's going on? I'm sorry, but if you don't stand this poor, confused, grumpy corpse, I don't know if we can be friends.
He's just a big, confused, upset bear.
It's like,
That's all.
I understand how terrifying this must be in this situation, but just reading it, I'm like, dude, he's just confused, he's just upset, just give him a picnic basket and send him on his way. Like,
give him a picnic basket, that's all he needs.
That's all he needs. He can't eat anything in the picnic basket currently, but he can smash it, and I'm sure that would feel great.
He can stroke his big paws on the blanket and everything, you know.
He can futz with the wicker. It's nice. And so Corpse is like, he's just standing still trying to get his bearings. And then he goes straight towards the boys again. And it says Lan Jingyi started to wail again.
He says,
I'm like, is it really a chapter with the juniors in it without Jingyi doing at least 2 wails?
Praise fucking God.
This boy loves to scream.
He loves to scream. So Wei Wuxian is like, alright, I got this. And he picks up a rock and just throws it at the zombie corpse man.
And the zombie corpse man comes right to him, and Wei Wuxian does the real slick, like, sidestep of the zombo.
He just jives out the way.
and he's like, all right, so listen, I said scatter, I didn't say run around like idiots. Come on, let's put our thinking caps on, okay? This guy's cultivation brain is huge.
He's got a huge cultivation.
He's got a gigantic cultivation. And I mean, he'll be able to sniff you out, okay? This is not small potatoes here.
I already said he can detect your boy energy, so
he can detect your boy energy, and he's based even in death. So just be careful with it, okay? Use your common sense for me, please.
Please.
I'd like to see you
Go
come
slow.
out of this alive.
Yeah.
And Lan Xishui's like, he looks like he's looking for something. Could he be looking for his head? Whoa! You really solved it, boy!
Genius?
The Genius? Genioious. Genioious.
I can't even picture the typed out version of that word.
It's like one of those impossible images.
Yeah. It's like the elephant with the legs.
Yeah. That weird little triangle.
Yeah.
There we go.
The stairs that go up and down.
The stairs that go up and down, you mean stairs?
Shut the fuck up, you know what I meant.
They go up, down, all around? The funny labyrinth stairs, you mean?
MC Escher brings you Genius.
MC Escher who? I only know David Bowie.
Well, yeah, him too.
Thanks. Oh, God. So, fucking Wei Wuxian's like, you got it, but, there's a lot of heads here, you notice. We got quite a few people, so,
he might just
come up. He's going noggin shopping, and he doesn't care whether you're alive.
If it works for him, it works for him.
He's just trying to find the right hermit crab shell, I guess. He's noggin shopping.
Yeah.
And the kids are just not into this.
Yeah, they don't like that, so...
They raise their hands over their heads, and they just, start to disperse again.
Yeah. And
it was as though they were playing a treacherous round of hide-and-seek with the ghoul.
And Wei Wuxian, throws rocks at Zombie Man anytime he, starts going towards a boy.
Yeah. Jesus.
And he notices...
bullying this poor Zombo.
Just throwing things at him. It fucking... All of this... Okay, so this is gonna be a hell of a reference. This is what the reference, but... If you've ever seen Milo and Otis... there's a part where the cat of Milo is, hiding in a dresser in, a chest of drawers hiding from a bear.
A bear?
A bear, and he manages to outwit the bear who's trying to... He's a hungry bear. He manages to outwit the bear by, making something fall on the bear's head, and the bear, wanders out just, dazed. And this is just what I'm picturing. Wei Wuxian just drops a funny comedy object, peeking up from out of several drawers.
And the corpse is confused. Yep. It hurt itself in its confusion.
Yeah, and right about now is when Wei Wuxian notices that Zombie Man is doing some big, wavy motions with his arm and hand.
Yeah, with his fist, a little bit clenched. And
yeah, he's kind of going swipe.
It's just him going, you goddamn hooligans better leave me alone. You're throwing rocks at him, dude. Why wouldn't he start belligerently waving his fist at you? I mean, obviously there was another motive behind it, but why didn't he just assume immediately that this guy was trying to fucking chase him off?
It's going to stop that.
Not even corpses appreciate having pebbles thrown at them.
That shit hurted.
It hurted.
So, Jingy's like, is this just how it's gonna be now? And Wei Ying's like, nah, I got this.
No, hold on. Han Guangju!
Loud as he can.
Han Guangju!
Stupid.
Han Guangju, please! When in doubt, cry for your beloved. Cry for your boyfriend.
He knows exactly what the fuck to do.
That's it. And so the kids join in too. They're like, Han Guangju! And they're howling for him.
Yeah, they say Aru. And then, two of them.
There's two of them! Twin Jades.
Two of them.
They emerge, and the children are just so excited.
They're delighted.
Hearing the Xiao and the Guqin together.
Yep.
It's a magical experience. It means that their dads are near.
Their dads are near. And if you don't know, a Xiao is another type of flute.
It looks like a recorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a recorder style of flute.
Yeah, it's the downward flute. Wei Wuxian has the little sideways flute. I don't know music terms, so just live with it.
Literally, in my eyes, always in my opinion, Xiaoxingchen just... Wow! Why did I do that? Because Xiao.
Yeah.
Fuck. Lan Xichen. Xingchen and Xichen are... very close.
They're too close, yeah. There's too many of those.
So, fuck, what was I saying? Oh, it's always been a recorder in my heart.
Yeah.
It's always just been a recorder. That's all I imagine. It's just... fucking almost did it again. Lan Xichen, waltzing in, doing...
He comes in playing hot cross buns. I was gonna say, he does the fucking Jurassic Park thing.
God! But fucking, so Lan Xichen and Lan Wangji roll up, and Lan Xichen is immediately like,
he says,
he seems to know this body quite well. I mean, I guess you never forget your first.
Yeah. He's shocked, and he doesn't, he kind of pauses. He doesn't start playing right away. So Lan Wangji, he's got Bichen out, and,
yeah, Lan Wangji's not hesitating. Lan Xichen is definitely hesitating, but Lan Wangji swings the blade.
He swings.
And the weird thing is... The corpse is he can book it.
He can book it.
So he ducks under the sword and then grabs it.
Yeah, he's big and he's beefy, but he's agile. He's also got very high dexterity.
He's agile. And so he takes Bichen and he's like...
He says yoink, and he starts trying to, like, he kind of spends a second going like, okay, I know I have a weapon here.
Like, trying to assess it.
But, like, regardless of what it is, he, like... uses it, slices.
Yeah, and the juniors are fucking terrified, but it says, Lan Wangji, though, seemed as calm as ever. That means less than nothing.
That means dick.
It means dick shit. Nothing.
It means jack
Lan Wangji looks calm as ever. He could be having a fucking Grand Mal panic attack in there. And there would be nothing.
Panic attack.
A Grand Mal panic attack, yes. A panic attack that probably will kill you.
Grand Mal panic attack.
Sometimes the panic attack is just too big for regular classification. Saying that he looks calm means nothing.
Yeah.
It means
it's
nothing.
It's a useless
to me.
metric, yeah.
Your tears don't mean shit to me. Your tears don't mean dick to me, dog.
Cry all you want.
Cry all you want. And so at first he plucks the Guqin, he plucks Wangji.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Wang
this
Jr.
happens. Yeah.
He plucks Wang Jr. just one little string and tries to do it, and fucking corpse just whips through it.
Yeah.
He's having nothing to do with it.
He says, this song fucking sucks, blam.
And Wangji's like, fuck, okay, bet. I guess I'm gonna play I Write Sins Not Tragedies then. And goes, oh.
He says, bing. And,
boop, 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 boop. And, that one, Wei Wuxian decides to chip in on, do a little bit of a duet.
He says, oh, I know how to play this one.
Yeah.
So he hops in, and then Lan Xichen...
It's the only one of Lan Wangji's hits that he knows.
Yeah, and then Lan Xichen is like, oh, okay, no, I got it. He says, brutal, and he gets back into it, he starts playing, and now this is where Mr. Zombie Man kind of goes...
Yeah, and this whole paragraph sucks.
This paragraph fucking sucks.
It sucks, and it makes me really sad.
This paragraph sucks, and it makes me really sad, and it's so fucking gay.
So the Zombo hears the shout, and he's like, huh, who could that be? So he turns to it, and I mean, Lan Xichen's, wow, it's gonna take everything in me not to fucking say Xiao Xinchen again.
Take it up with MXTX.
And so he just keeps going. The corpse is really trying to figure out who this is. He just like stops in his movements, and he seems to just kind of be overtaken by the rhythm of the music. Mm-hmm. He's letting his body take control, and his body is deciding to flop onto the ground uselessly. Let the rhythm move you onto the ground.
And yeah, he just falls to pieces.
He falls to pieces. He just goes immediately, like, crashes onto the floor and just breaks into pieces. And
like he's made out of Duplo.
If that's not me at the end of a long work day.
That is literally you walking in the door after a long day. You just come in and go...
I literally melt onto the floor. All
of your limbs come off.
And so Lan Wangji's like, all right, there we go.
Yep.
And so he comes up there with Lan Wuxian.
Well,
I'm on a fucking roll today.
I mean, Lan Wuxian.
He goes up to the corpse with Wei Wuxian. I mean, it's canon. Yep. And he takes out 5 new Qiankun patches. Mm-hmm. Pouches. Wow. Sorry.
You're good.
Qiankun patches. For when you're trying to get off the Qiankun, you know? And I like that he just keeps those motherfucking things on him.
He does.
He just keeps them on him.
You never know.
And so the kids come over.
And we get this, what's a fucking chapter with this? Jingy's like, oh, but it's, so Lan Wangji's like, go rest, and Jingy's like, but it's not 9 yet, and Sishui is like, no, we're going to bed, it's fine.
Yes, good night, Wangji.
Good night, Han Guangjun.
Good night, Mr. Han Guangjun.
So they leave, and then Xichen speaks up, and he's like, wait a minute, before you put that corpse back in its bags,
just let me see it.
let me take a little look.
Like the spouse in the morgue needing to identify the body.
It fucking sucks. Imagine being called to the morgue, and all you have to identify a body is their dick.
I think he could do it.
He could. That's what he does.
It's what he does. I'm sorry about it.
It's completely heterosexual and not indicative of anything that he can recognize this body by nothing but parts.
By nothing but the pure body, the nude, not nude, because I keep forgetting it's not nude.
It's
by
nude
the,
in the
by
manhwa.
the burial robe.
He's nude in the manhwa, he's nude in my heart.
You know what? I accept that.
He's naked.
He's naked, bro. So
Declared naked.
being able to identify your sworn bro's naked body, not gay, just a cool bro thing.
Just a cool bro thing.
Don't bros do like that circle jerk thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, you see each other naked, sure. It's not gay.
You just stare at each other's naked bodies lovingly for a while, admiring.
And masturbate to it? Okay.
It's normal.
That's it. But fucking Wei Wuxian's like, Zhou, do you know who this is? And, Lan Wangji, like, preempts him by just nodding.
Yeah, because he's
Wei Wuxian's like, oh yeah, well then, I know who he is too.
Yeah, Wei Wuxian says #confirmed.
I don't know why this line is, like, insufferable to me in a loving way. He's such a fucking know-it-all.
He's so stupid.
And he's like, he's two things in it, right?
Yep.
When they were, quote, playing hide and seek, the headless corpse kept repeating the same movement. Fucking rock throwing is typically not involved in hide and seek unless you are particularly maladjusted. Thought that I would point that out.
Just saying.
Okay. Okay.
So we get, like, sword usage lore.
We get sword usage lore, the sword being the gentleman of all weapons. And I think she's used that phrase before, and every time she does, it make me laugh.
It making me laugh, definitely.
It's the genius's weapon.
The genius of all weapons.
The genius of all weapons.
The genius of all weapons. The genius's weapon.
The Gineoius.
I don't even think you're following letters at this point.
No.
Nah.
Just kind of a vague suggestion at this point.
But yeah, so we get some shit about how this dude's just, like, flapping this sword around, like,
and he obviously must have had a saber in life because they're big hefty boys and they got a lot of killing intent, that big brute boss shit.
Yep. You don't gotta have grace and dignity and everything when you're just out to kill.
You're just trying to smash in a non-sexual way,
in a murdering way.
And he's just fucking, he just wants his sword back, man. He just misses this gigantic sword. I can't blame him.
Yeah.
And I mean, this whole, the explanation does make sense, but I did enjoy the theory that it was just him belligerently waving his fists a little bit more, but that's just me. I like that old man shit.
It is funny. We get a very funny line where, like, so they go from that to talking about how the corpse doesn't have any, like, birthmarks or anything.
Yep.
And and now after he had been cut into pieces, it was impossible to find out who he was. It was only natural that Niu Haisong couldn't recognize it in the Saber Hall.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, even Wei Wuxian couldn't guarantee that if he cut off his own leg and threw it everywhere, he'd be able to recognize whose leg it was. Threw it everywhere.
Just kind
of like a volleyball.
Yeah, just lobbing it to and fro.
Willy-nilly.
Fetch with it.
It's all chewed up and covered in grass.
Oh, God. Ugh. That poor leg.
That poor theoretical leg.
So they try to fill Lan Xichen in a little bit. And Wei Wuxian's like, okay, so he told you about Yi City, he told you about that gravedigger and all that shit. Okay, so here's the tea. He's gotta be either from the Lan sect or he knows the Lan sect really, really well. Or he's such a genius that he can remember your Lan Sect sword moves as soon as he sees them.
He's got that...
3 options.
Yeah, he's got that skill in his tree.
And Lan Xichen is still silent because, Wei Ying just does not have a whole lot of grace in this chapter. I just need him to give the man a minute, please. He is clearly not having a good time.
I am very much, funny picturing Xichen, standing there with just, a blank, dopey smile on his face. Not putting it all together yet. Because he doesn't have the next few clues. He's like, okay. So then Wei Wuxian is like, all right, so this guy also, whoever did this also doesn't want people to know that Qifeng Zun's been cut up while slicing.
He knows what's up with the Saber Hall. He's really close with the Gusu Lans.
He's got a rather complicated history, ... with Qifeng Zun.
With Qifeng Zun. And without having to say who this person most likely was, everyone had understood.
Yeah, Xichen finally comes around and realizes.
And Lan Xichen's like, no, he wouldn't do that.
No.
Just fucking immediate white knighting.
Yeah.
As soon as he figures out who they might be talking about. Which
reflexive white knighting. Yeah, Wei Ying's like, are you sure?
Lan Xichen's like, he has an alibi, so it doesn't match up.
Yeah, he's like, he's actually not, he's actually too much of a weenie to be able to cultivate that well, so,
yeah, and Wei Wuxian, literally, so Lan Xichen's first deflection is, oh, well, he was with me this whole month, there's no way that he could have done this.
He had been discussing matters with me every single night.
Every single night.
I'm not a fan, but...
I don't ship it, but, and Wei Wuxian's like, okay, but, what about a transportation talisman, eh? Lan Xichen's like,
he doesn't have his transportation license.
He doesn't have his transportation license, and he sucks at cultivation, so he wouldn't be able to do it. And also, it takes a lot of spiritual energy, and we just went night hunting a couple days ago, and he was, perfectly fine. So, that's clearly not it, okay? So, just drop it, okay? Oh god, just reading all this, knowing the identity of Lan Xichen's BFF is about 6 times worse
it's
than
so
reading
fucking
it.
Frustrating.
It's 6 times worse than reading it when it was still a mystery.
Yeah.
Jesus, poor Xichen. I mean, he was largely complicit in excusing these actions because, he wouldn't do that, but still, poor Xichen.
This man has spent 15 years saying he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that. And so Xichen uses the transportation talisman excuse, and Lan Wangji's like...
He calls him directly out. Yeah. He says, you're just refusing to admit it. You know who it is.
Yeah, Lan Wangji's like, he didn't have to go himself. And Wei Wuxian's like...
minions.
Wei Wuxian is literally like, dude, you know this guy is the prime suspect. Why are you being so obstinate about it?
And Xichen puts his hands over his ears and says, la 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 la. And
he's like, well, I mean, he's been through a lot, okay? And
he's trying to learn and grow.
Nobody knows his real story. I know his real story. I've seen the real him. And I'm telling you that he wouldn't do that to me.
Okay.
Or to anyone. But, I mean, he hasn't done it to me, so obviously he wouldn't do it to anyone else.
And, so Wei Wuxian, he's like...
I know he's not that sort of person. Wei Wuxian's like, God, this idiot,
Bless your heart. He says, bless your heart.
He's like, Wei Wuxian, understands...
Yeah.
And it's not like he hates the person that they're talking about, but the evidence.
The evidence. Wei Wuxian is thinking, I think he's a perfectly okay dude. I mean, who among us hasn't committed murder?
He sees the best in people.
And then, the second thing of this says, he was, speaking of the criminal.
Yes.
He was the type of person who never offended anyone. 5 paragraphs after, he has a complicated history with Qifeng Zun.
Make up your mind.
Making NMJ mad doesn't count because just everybody and everything makes him mad.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of an outlier thing.
Yeah. Those were marital squabbles. They're different.
Those were marital squabbles, and Lan Xichen's still not getting it, so they're just thinking, who would Nie Mingjoy's death have benefited the most? Right when it was happening, it was, right when Qingyan was, kind of starting to...
They were
starting to antagonize the Lanling Gene sect.
I mean, for good reason.
I mean, death by a chi deviation under the public's eyes, it looked like such a reasonable, unavoidable regret. But was the truth really so simple?
48 hours hard evidence.
My best friend is an axe murderer. But
Somewhat.
as sad and sucky as like the last part of this chapter was, honestly, Lan Xichen's reaction to these accusations is such a stark like character contrast to what we'd seen from the elder Lans up to this point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like they prioritize rationality and impartial thinking and whatever, and yet Lan Xichen does away with pretty much all of that in favor of positing personal anecdotes and his opinions as valid arguments in a very reactionary way.
Oh, yeah.
An incredibly reactionary way. And it's not level-headed at all, as much as he would like it to seem level-headed. It's just interesting to see that juxtaposition, you know?
Yeah.
I'm certain that Lan Wangji did much the same thing with the whole Wei Wuxian situation back in the day. It's
the Lan brainworms.
It's the Lan brainworms, dude. What else is there to say?
That's how it is.
But that's the chapter, folks.
That's the chapter. Little baby chapter.
It's a little baby chapter. We got a decent amount of stuff in there, though. It was a juicy one.
We gotta have a little baby chapter this week, because next week, not only is next week the longest chapter in, I think, the entire novel.
Oh, God.
Outside of the,
Guile Part II.
Yeah, outside of the extras. The longest chapter, but more importantly, next episode is episode 50.
Episode 50, y'all. 50 of them.
50 of them.
That's probably over, like, 100 hours of content.
It's a lot of hours of content.
That we've used our voices and brains to put forth into the world, and I for one, am very proud of us.
My brain is so much bigger than when we started.
My brain is literally, I'm that picture of the feels guy who's playing a game of chess with his own brain while sitting on a chair made out of his own brain.
Oh yeah, and the chessboard and all the chess pieces are made out of his own brain.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Speaking of episode 50, before we get into our next segment,
50's nuts!
50's nuts! Final reminder, we're doing a bonus Q&A episode in honor of episode 50. It'll go up sometime next week, along with the regular episode. It's not going to be a Patreon thing. So everybody's going to have access to it.
It's a community appreciation event.
So send us some questions. They can be about whatever. Nothing too invasive, but you're normal. We don't have to clarify that. If you have a question to send into the Q&A episode, please either email it to cloudrecessespod@gmail.com with the subject line Q&A, or send us an ask on Tumblr with Q&A at the start of the ask, or send us a DM on Twitter with Q&A somewhere in there. Just clarify that it's for the Q&A.
Yeah.
Why don't we go do some Google Translate essence collecting?
Let's collect some essences.
So, we had a moment that made both of us sad. Mm-hmm. And I think we should honor that moment with the theme of this week's collection extracts.
What would that theme be?
The theme is Nylon.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nylon, let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. So the first one is from a fic. It's from Chinese.
Okay.
For context, I think what's happening in this fic is I think Huaisang is trying to resurrect NMJ. So he went to Gusu to learn music magic, how to do that. I think. That's a big I think. But,
After learning something, Nie Huaisang left Yunshan without knowing it. God, mood? Wow, okay, so he learns it, leaves, and it immediately exits his brain. If that's not a mood, I don't know what the fuck is. Holy shit. 5-minute attention span. Thank you, King.
That's not the...
Oh, God.
More of it, yeah.
Oh, my God, it's all of it. Shit.
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to throw that commentary in there. For another 2 years, Qinghe was calm. Just one day, something happened that made all the children of the Nie family panic. Zong, 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 zong! It's not good for Qifengzun. He ran away! A student from the Nie family shouted, instantly exploding into the depths of the world. Wow!
This kid just comes up, yells zong, 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 and then just explodes.
It's the power word.
The power word. He accidentally power word killed himself.
He did. He fucking melted into the Earth's core. He was so sad about Shifeng Zun running away.
Yeah.
He just dematerialized and dissolved into the ground.
Ashes to ashes.
Funky.
Funky.
Zongs to zongs.
Songs to songs. So this next one is from the next chapter of the same fic.
These are all in quotations. Metropolitan. What's the matter? Sackmaster Lon, here it comes. Sackmaster Lon.
That's his name.
It's Lon. Incredible.
Metropolitan with six periods.
Six ellipses.
Yeah.
A double
good.
ellipses.
Double ellipses.
It's great.
Two of them.
That's how I like to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Just let everybody know that you're really taking that dramatic pause.
You were taking a big breath, bro.
Taking a large breath.
Large. Bro, we are breathing. Speaking of bro, we are breathing, so this last one, this one's from Ty.
Okay.
This one is a tweet that was attached to two pictures of the actors of them from the Untamed.
The ultimate ghost ship with an official line. Chungku's face. Charles and Xichen called him. Taga. And then he put his hand on the other side is the most confusing. Or taking a second hand is a rule of a group of brothers and sisters swearing like a hi-fi secondary is fried. Huh? Charles and Xichen. Taga.
Charles Nye.
Charles Nye.
That's his dub name.
God.
Taking a second hand is a rule of a group of brothers and sisters swearing like a hi-fi secondary is right.
That made me feel like I was having a stroke. I don't know what's going on with that
Fucking
one.
Markovian parallax denigrate. What the fuck is this?
Oh, what? Don't you do that English major bullshit with me. You know I have an IQ of 87.
It's not even English major bullshit. It's a fucking old internet mystery.
Never mind. My brain is my brain is huge, but it's full of fluid.
I apologize.
And the fluid is stupid juice.
Stupid juice. Oh, God. Okay. Do you want to go to questions?
Yeah.
Let's do some questions.
Let's do some questions.
If you have questions, you can send them to cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com/ask or via Twitter at cloudrecesspod. Just one recess. Let's go to Twiddy first.
Okay.
Little we do.
All right, first question is from friend of the show, Jove, at Ask Jovery. Do you think modern Wei Wuxian would vape?
Yes.
I thought of this last night and now I can't get the image out of my head. Does he learn to do vape tricks just to annoy JC? What is Lan Wangji's stance on Wei Wuxian vaping?
Vaping is forbidden in the cloud recesses.
Going in order. Modern Wei Wuxian would vape? Yes. Does he learn to do vape tricks just to annoy JC? Yes. What is LWJ's stance on Wei Wuxian vaping? He's fine with it until Wei Wuxian starts coughing a lot, and Lan Wangji does research on the internet and finds out that vaping actually, causes lung problems, and he comes up to Wei Wuxian, and he's very concerned, and he asks Wei Wuxian to stop vaping, and Wei Wuxian feels bad, so he says yes. And that's the end of Wei Wuxian vaping. This is not based on a true story.
Definitely nothing that I, Lan Wangji, knew about.
No, not at all.
Not even remotely.
Not at all. He just cares him, you know?
He care him.
He care him. So Wei Wuxian switches back to cigarettes and looks slightly cooler, but smells slightly worse.
And it's arguably worse for him than the vaping.
It's arguably worse for him than the vaping, but at least he's not getting popcorn lungs.
God.
Next question is from El Vie at Eruviru. They ask, what if Nie Mingdui had a fan club, though? What would they call themselves, and what do they do? Hopefully less problematic than Wei Wuxian's fans who pretend they're disciples of the world's ugliest man, or Lan Wangji's fans that pretend they're Lan Wangji but deny being copycats.
Oh my god.
God, what would Nie Mingdui's fan club be?
I'm trying to get my head in the game here. I mean, he does have a fan club, and it's called Roy.
I'm just not good at coming up with, like, fandom nicknames.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not my thing, and I've always thought that they were kind of cringy, but, like, he would definitely have a fan club, and they would definitely have a name.
They're the nation's DDs.
They're New Mingjoy's Little Sabers.
The Little Sabers Club.
Little Sabers Club, that's
You
it.
get your Little Sabers meal.
Yeah!
Oh, God.
It's good.
Sarah,
Sarah just a friend
enemy
of the show, enemy
Sarah.
of the show at Sarah Mick Costumes with the pleading eyes emoji and the two fingers poking together. So no head. Yes, no head. Never head. Never for you.
You see
Never
what I'm talking about?
No. Horrible.
Let's go to Tumblr.
You think you can get away with this shit?
Just because you're sect leader?
Just because you're sect leader?
On God.
All right, moving on to Tumblr.
Dumble.
An anonymous friend asked, what side hustles do you think Yiling Lousy Wei Wuxian would do up on the burial mounds if he had the chance? He can confirmedly draw real well, so maybe he sells fan art along with his radishes or something. Or maybe he discovers some crazy strain of weed that grows up there and starts a business for it.
Oh my God.
I think maybe he could make some wine or something. That'd be fun, but then again they would have to have rice crops for that, which they don't have in the burial mounds. It's kind of difficult to find side hustles for stuff in the burial mounds because it's completely dead up there, and it was such an effort just to get turnips growing or radishes. God, Animal Crossing brain poison.
Yeah. He had a side hustle as Daisy May.
God.
A side hustle being a day trader for the stock market.
God, I like the weed idea. I think it's funny and good to me. Maybe he he could make and sell talismans or something.
Yeah.
That could be a good side hustle because he's real good at that.
He makes custom talismans and he sells them on Ancient Chinese Vampire Times Etsy.
Yeah.
And they get lost in the mail.
He just has an Ancient Vampire Times Etsy store, and sometimes he needs to take a break and he hasn't updated his customers on their shipments or when they're going to come, but he just takes a little break for himself because he feels like it, and then he gets killed and the shipments never come, and that's fine.
A regular website.
I like the concept of a side hustle. I think that's really he makes rouge out of the blood pool.
Yeah.
Our next question is from another anonymous friend. They asked, how would the juniors react to back to school? How would they react on a normal year? And how would they react during quarantine? What do Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji have to deal with? And do they have their work cut out for them?
They definitely have their work cut out for them.
I think Sishui would be the one who's really excited to go back to school because he gets to learn.
Yeah. Fucking nerd. Yeah, he's ready for it. He's excited.
Jingy is the type of person who tells himself that he's going to start fixing his sleep schedule 2 months before school starts. And then it's the day before school is supposed to start and he's up at 2:30 in the morning still on World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah. Falls asleep in class on the first day.
He's kind of
hyped to be there, though. It's especially once lunch rolls around and you
he
hang
gets
out
to
with
see
his
his
buds.
friends. Yeah, he's definitely just excited to see his friends. He's one of those people who comes up and he's like, oh my God, it's been so long. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever. When they met up 2 weeks ago to get some frozen yogurt or something. Ouyang Xichen is just happy to be there.
Yeah.
He's just happy to be
He's
there.
vibing.
He's vibing. Jiliang, I don't know.
He doesn't like school.
Jiliang doesn't like school.
He doesn't have...
He thinks he's too good for it.
He thinks he's too good for it, but also he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, he doesn't have any friends because of his own terrible behavior.
Yeah. His poor temper and awful personality.
Here's
the thing about back to school during quarantine.
Yeah.
We're 32 and 25 years old. Neither of us work in education. I don't really know what I'm not sure
what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, school around here starts after Labor Day, so it hasn't even started yet. And the most I know about is, like, the community college around here, I think, is doing online classes, and then my brother is doing online classes, but that's both college, so I don't know.
I think I heard from one of my coworkers, this was a while ago, so they might have changed it, that she's got 5 kids.
Oh my god.
And apparently they're doing the school from home thing this year. That was what I heard the last time I asked about it, but that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
They goddamn better be.
Who knows? They really goddamn better be. And I think all of the children would be probably pretty mad about having to go to school.
Yeah.
With that whole thing going on.
I think Sishui's fine with it. He's the only one who's, like, super fine with it, and that's because he's disciplined enough that he can, like, he can do school on his own.
No, yeah, they're definitely cool with it. Genie's like, man, we should just have the whole year off. This is such crap.
This is crap.
But, Wei Wuxian and Long Wangji, I mean, if we're talking about a homeschooling experience,
oh my god,
that's going to be a goddamn nightmare. And I don't even want to talk about what Zhang Cheng has to deal with Jin Liang.
Oh god,
like that's cursed.
That's cursed.
That's just evil.
That's cursed. So those are our questions.
That was what the questions.
That was
for
what
this
the questions. So I think we can wrap this up. Little baby episode.
Do a little house and keeping.
Yeah, some house and keeping.
A cool hour and change.
Yeah. So we have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon, and you can throw treats in our mouth.
If you want to throw $1 a month of treats in our mouths, you can be a disciple of the show and get access to all of our Patreon exclusive bonus content, plus a special role in our Discord. That bonus content, not only do we have She's and Get iPad coming up very soon,
we do,
but we have a special little thing planned for late next week.
We have a little extra bonus content for you coming.
Just a little snack.
We noticed a distinct lack of
something on a
website.
Yeah, so
and we're gonna take it upon ourselves to fix it.
Sometimes it behooves us to create content.
Behooves?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just for the sake of other people, you know?
Out here...
We're just selfless people, clearly.
Out here behoofing it.
Yeah, you know.
For $5 a month, you can be a sec leader of the show and get all that plus more special role in our Discord channel and a thank you shout out on the show. Plus, you can also get a little doodle from us every month.
A little doodle.
A little doodle. And then for $10 a month, you can be a chief cultivator of the whole assed Pod Recesses world and get all of that and an even more special role in our Discord. And you can listen in when we record our episodes, including She's and Get iPad.
She's and Get iPad.
All of our donors get to vote every month on which charity we will donate some of our money to. It's good.
It's very good.
So shout out to our $5 sec leaders, Lenny W., Carrie, Lena, Rachel W., Audrey F., Corin, 420 sec leader Sarah, and our new secret shadow sec leader who asked not to be named.
Oh,
thank you so much for supporting us.
I hope you didn't kill Chifeng Zun. And thank you to our $10 chief cultivators of the show, Scout and Colin.
And new $10 sec leader of the show, Stefaniku.
Thank you, Stefaniku. Thank you, everybody.
Fuck yes.
Thank you, y'all. We really appreciate your support, and we hope to continue delighting you.
I'm hitting the dab.
I'm hitting a deep dab.
Hitting the goddamn dab.
I'm gonna tell on her. She hit a very weak dab, so I need you to hit a real dab for our viewers right now. There we go.
Yeah.
You heard her chair creak with the effort. That's how you know it's real.
That was an audibly pained dab.
I'll do one too. There it is. I think I popped something.
That's what happens when you dab when you're old.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow. It threw my back into place. That's like the equivalent of like swinging your spine to crack your back, except you just dab as you do it. That's the new wave, y'all.
That's how you do it nowadays. Thank you also to Noisepace.xyz for being our podcast network. Thank you, Sec Leader Matt, for running Noisepace.xyz.
We owe you our lives. It's the best podcast spot around.
It is. So check out other such Noisepace podcasts as Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, Jurgen
Tuning Fork,
The Wonder Years, Fearbaiting, City Girls Make Do, My Pod Cabbages, many of them.
Ham State,
Radish.
Many friends, many good podcasts. Like I say, it's a little something for everybody.
And, not a noise space joint, but, if you want to check out a little podcast called Podcast ga Gotoku, check that out, because I guested on that last week. So give that a listen if you like some Yakuza content. It's fun. But yeah, give that a listen.
Yeah, for definitely.
Once again, I'm Roy. I'm on Twitter at SemperFunny, and if you just want to see the Modal stuff, I'm also at Yelling Hypebeast.
And I'm Fallon. I'm on Twitter at America's Burden.
And you can find the pod recesses of us at cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com and on twitter.com/cloudrecess, just the one pod. Run all the podcast apps, all the websites, all the crap. Subscribe and give us some ratings and likes and subscriptions.
Do us a little solid. Leave us a rating. Leave us a little comment. Some feedback.
All you have to type in is "I like it," and it's good. Yeah,
just right. I like to see it.
Yeah. And you can join our Discord. Link, as always, is in the description.
Please be 18 plus.
It's the worst place on the internet.
It's a curse.
It's a hell on earth. So.
It's a curse. It's a worse curse than whatever the fuck was happening in Hereditary, which I watched last night almost immediately before going to bed, and let me tell you folks, that was a mistake.
Thanks, Ari.
Do you know what we say at the end of every episode, Roy?
Semper Hereditary.
Semper Hereditary. You are all my Paimons now.
Fuck.
Devil has been solved, y'all.
Devil really has been solved. Semper Bunny, folks.
Bye.
Bye.